Good evening, CLC. I'm Naomi Fida. Thanks for joining me here this evening. So, as you know, I've just been on this series of peace, just meditating on that, as I know that it's something that we all need in our Christian lives and just in the world that we live in. And recently I was talking to a spiritual mentor of mine, and we were talking about really there's two aspects of peace. There's peace with God and peace within. That's right. So all of a sudden I lost my train of thought. So so much of the peace that we have relates to both of these, because we want to live, or ideally to live with that peace in our hearts that is not the peace that the world has. You know, Jesus brings us calm because we have trust in him. We know that he's in control. We know that this world isn't our home. But yet the storms of life will come, and there will be things that will happen. And so I was just thinking about, actually weather storms like tornadoes or hurricanes. And I have friends in Florida that, when a hurricane comes, they know what they need to do. They collect their stuff, all the emergency supplies, and they, button down their houses and maybe board off the windows and different things like that. And so, in our own lives, I think about when a storm does come, do we prepare for them? Not that we freak out, but what's like our emergency plan when this storm comes into our life, because we know that they're going to come. And it just brought me back to that favorite psalm of Psalm 91, which says, he who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. And I will say to the Lord, he's my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. And, is God that shelter for us under his wings, under the shelter that he provides? And what does it really mean when the storm comes to be hiding in his shelter, to be resting in him? And what I found is that part of it is just really, truly putting our hearts there and not being surprised by the storm, and letting him shield us, in the sense that we're not trying to control it. We're not trying to make the outcome, but instead just drawing that source of supply and guidance from him as the storm lasts. And it definitely is a spiritual concept, but part of it is just drawing into like the secret place, spending time with him, and just casting that burden at his feet. I also think of the image of the disciples when they were in the boat and the storm and the waves were crashing, and Jesus was there, and they had to call on him, and he calmed the storm. And so, I think that there's two things that can go. Sometimes Jesus does calm the storm. Sometimes he makes everything around us go calm as soon as we call on him. And sometimes we have to just ride it out. Sometimes there's that hurricane, that tornado, and we just have to stay in that place of shelter with him and ride out the storm and let him protect us. And when I think of his protection, one thing that is most important is the protection of our hearts, whether it's being just that we don't grow in bitterness and anger. We don't let those things fester, because when a storm comes, we might be angry at God that the storm has come into our life, or bitter about another person that's involved in the situation. But that is definitely something that we need protection from in terms of these storms, because if there's bitterness or anger that grows within us, it's something that is capable of ruining our relationship with God and our relationship with others, and just infiltrating that. And so whatever it is that you're going through, just remember that Jesus is a shelter in the storm. Just take extra time to spend with him, to seek out that secret place, to just put your heart in his hands, protecting you from the bitterness, the anger, and the storm. Just that believing that he is going to see you through this and he's going to use it for his glory. So thank you all. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday, throughout the week, and if not, back here on Facebook or YouTube next week. Have a great week. If you'd like to stay in touch, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can like and subscribe our channel and stay connected.